It's Stuttering John. Here's how I feel about this. How I feel about doing a break on it. Stuttering John was pulled over back in, I believe it was October of year last. So the previous October of 2024, he got pulled over in his little neighborhood there in Florida. And it took until now, I guess Cardiff Electric, he found the video somehow. He's like a private investigator, this guy. And he found the video of the cops' vest cam video of the traffic stop. And it's pure John. It's great. We'll get to it in a minute or five. But I must preface this. I do not normally do Dabbleverse content. I talk about things when they come up. You know, Opie, obviously. I haven't talked about him in a few days, but, you know, whatever. He'll mouth off. I'll mouth off. It's the way it goes with the Opie and Anthony relationship over the course of the years. John, you know, everyone else in the Dabbleverse, I don't really talk about. Brennan, the only thing I have to say about him is I'm out of the Kevin Brennan business. He's an asshole. He's a fucking like piece of shit. Actually tried to get me in trouble with my new employer, WABC Radio and Company. And he's just a piece of shit. An envious, bitter, old piece of shit. So I really don't have anything to add to that. And the rest of them are just inconsequential. They're just inconsequential. Who's this guy? Oh, he's got a little, you know, they're on the periphery. But the Dabbleverse itself, of course, focused on Stuttering John for the most part. And his just unbelievable stupidity and narcissism and envy and just being trapped in the past. And it's very entertaining. And, of course, Carl and the fine folks over at Who Are These Podcasts do a great job dissecting John. Shuley and Mike and Anthony over at Uncle Rico and Auntie Karen. They do an amazing job. I was like a fag. I'm texting Shuley. It's like 2:30 in the morning. And they were doing something, and I hadn't been able to catch it live, but I was watching the replay, and I'm laying in bed, and I was shaking the bed. I was laughing so fucking hard. I had to pause it to like stop laughing. Because, you know, the girlie's gonna wake up and get mad that it's 2:30 in the morning and she thinks I'm beating off or something. Just so funny. It's you know, it was pure dumb John stuff, and the way they goof on it is just funny as fuck. So I don't like delving into their territory with that. They do an amazing job. I don't need to be another show that's doing shows about Stuttering John or that. They do great. Let them riff on that, and I'll do what I do. But there is a but here today. Seeing the video of John getting pulled over, I know they're going to do a great job. I can't wait to see how Shuley handled this or handles it or what have you. But I have to comment on it. I have to play the video. And Sean, be ready because there's going to be a lot of pausing. I was trying to work out how I could control it from here and virtual desktop from my, oh my goodness, from my Streamlabs and whatnot. But I just didn't have enough time. I could do it next time if I need to have like that immediate, a lot of access to pausing without having to say pause a lot, but I can't. So this time, Sean, I'm going to have to, we're going to be pausing this a lot because it's just pure John. I I think Steve Buscemi handled a traffic stop better in Fargo than John handles this traffic stop. He just, and it's not even, violence doesn't happen. It's not like he gets arrested. It's not a big deal, but it's pure stupid. Just can't shut the fuck up, John Melendez. It's just everything common sense would tell you not to do in a traffic stop, in a normal traffic stop. I'm not talking like, obviously, don't go reaching under your seat, things like that. That's known. But this is like everybody that just your common driver that gets pulled over knows just, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's so ham-handed in an attempt to get out of this. It's just funny as fuck, and I have to. I apologize to Uncle Rico and Who Are These Podcasts. I don't want to step on any toes, but this is just necessary. I have to do this. All right, let's start it. John getting pulled over. I believe it was his registration had expired 6 months ago in another state. And he moved to Florida, and this cop is like, your Reggie's 6 months expired. So let's take it from the point of view of the cop pulling over John. There's the Mercedes.
Hi there, Officer Carroll with Cape Coral Police. We just pulled you over. Your tag expired 6 months ago.
Yeah, I just moved here from California. I got to go to the DMV. I just got my Florida driver's license.
Okay, so 6 months ago. Any reason why we didn't renew it?
Oh, I just got here. I was in California. I drove from...
Sir, so listen to me.
Yeah.
Back in April, when you were in California,
yeah,
why didn't you renew your registration?
I wasn't asked to yet. I didn't get a thing in the mail yet.
You don't have to.
All right, but usually I get
License and registration.
Could you pause that, please? No one told me. No one told me. And it's like he tried to make it sound, see, this is John. He just has to make excuses. He can never accept responsibility for anything, even a traffic stop. Your Reggie is 6 months expired. I just moved here. Yeah. Well, what happened the 6 months before you moved here? You were driving around unregistered for 6 months in California. No one told me. No one told you. It's called being an adult, John. Being an adult. Grown up. This guy's 60 years old. And he doesn't understand that you have to register your car, that when you move into another state, you have a certain amount of time where you have to transfer your registration, your car registration, into the new state you're living in. You don't just drive around with your old state's license plates on. There's a law against that after a set amount of time, especially if they're expired anyway. Like you don't do that. You don't get your Florida license and then go, well, my car has to be registered to Florida too. And holy shit, I'm 6 months over my registration expiration date from my California. But he just has to keep yammering to this cop, and thank God the cop is a no-nonsense. This cop would be classified as a prick. This is a no-nonsense guy. He's not here for a conversation. He's just doling out tickets and telling people how they fucked up. And John, he's got to He's got to talk back. He's got to try to be like, well, I just moved. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse why your Reggie is 6 months expired. And the biggest, thank God, this cop, like many people in 2025, has no fucking clue who John ever was. The fucking Howard Stern show, the fucking Jay Leno announcer, writer, none of it. And this cop doesn't give a shit. So the more John mouths off, the more this cop is like, yeah, I bet you shut the fuck up and let me tell you what the deal is here. So now he's given him the license. He understands that that telling him he just moved to Florida isn't going to get him out of this. So we continue. Be ready on that pause thing there, Sean.
Okay. See your California registration.
I'm trying to see if I can add something. Is that it?
No, that's a 2014 Toyota.
Pause. 2000. Here's a scrap of paper. No, it's a 2014 Toyota. Here's some of my writing I did on The Tonight Show. Here's some of my jokes that made it to the monologue. Yeah, registration, please. Registration, please. His hair is a wreck. Like, he goes out like that. I understand you're going to be home all day. Maybe you're getting a Uber Eats or a DoorDash delivery. You're not going to brush your hair or anything. But he left the house. I would assume if you leave the house, you're going to want to maybe run a brush through your hair, something like that. He's a fucking disaster when he goes out. So he's eagerly looking for this car registration that he doesn't have. Again, adulthood, John, growing up. Whenever I get a new insurance card, because it seems like insurance companies, especially now, if you just pay online and it's already auto payment, you don't really pay attention to the bills that come in. I see statements. I see your Allstate bill has been prepared, and I look and I see the amount, and it'll go out on this day. I don't have to. What fucking year is this? Let me fill out my check. I'll get a money order from the bank and fill it out. No, it's 2025. So all that shit gets paid, but there are some physical things they send you. And even those, I could print out an insurance card online. It doesn't have to be mailed to me. But they mail you the insurance cards, and it's like, here's your new one. You've been renewed. And that day, that minute, I take it, I go out to the truck, I open the glove, and I take the old one out and put the new one in. And my glove compartment isn't full of shit like my last vehicle's registration and whatever other cum rags and baubles he has falling out of his glove compartment. Now, I will say, in my 20s, of course, the whole car was a mess. Insurance, I don't know. Did I even pay it? I get it. In your 20s, John is a 60-year-old man pawing through his glove compartment for the car's documentation, and he can't find it. The cop should have wrote him up for not having a registration, not the same as unregistered, which, by the way, he's technically unregistered here. But, you know, it's called being a grown-up, John. It's called the most basic of responsibilities for an adult. And by 60 years old, you have been driving, getting a license, getting a registration, and getting car insurance for your entire life. At 60, it's not new that you find out you need to register your vehicle or get a license or this is just the most basic of adult responsibilities if you drive. So once again, he's a mess and he just can't keep his mouth shut to this cop. All right, roll him.
Could be in my trunk. Okay, go in my trunk.
Pause.
No, you're not going to get.
And you can rewind it a little bit because the cop says something right where we paused. Yeah. So he tells him it might be in the trunk. Can I go in the trunk? Why on earth would your fucking registration be in your trunk? It's back there with Pocky's body. Why would your Reggie be in your trunk? You would have to take it and put it in your trunk, knowing it should be up front. So how does it end up? It's something that has to be accessed whenever you get pulled over for a traffic stop. You need the registration, you need insurance, proof of insurance, and your license. 3 things, not 18 things. 3 basic things that you should have on the ready. You know where they are, easily accessible. You hand it to the cop. It's one more thing that the cop goes, oh, I would imagine someone responsible enough to have the proper documents within arm's reach, quickly put them in my hand, maybe is responsible enough to drive, and maybe the speeding was something that they don't normally do because they're responsible. Maybe they don't normally roll through a stop sign. Maybe the fact that their registration expired 2 days ago, let's say, but they have all their stuff. They seem to be responsible. Maybe I'll let it slide. 6 months expired. My Reggie's in the trunk, maybe. Here, there's this piece of paper. His hair's in disarray. I just moved. Like, it's everything you don't do. You and the cop are working together here to chill each other out. He's just trying to get everything he needs from you to get through this traffic stop. And you're trying to keep him at ease by coming up with everything he wants and let's get this done with. Not John. He's a rolling disaster area. What an idiot. Listen to the cop because he wants to get out. He says, it's in my trunk. He goes, can I get out? Cop's like, no, you're not getting out of the vehicle. What do you fucking think? All right, let's watch this again. I love it.
No, I haven't. Somebody could be in my trunk. Okay, go in my trunk.
No, you're not going to get out of the car.
Okay, could be in my trunk.
All right, John, I'll be back.
All right, John. Now John's like trying to think, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Cop goes back. He's going to look up John and Reggie and write up everything he needs to write up. And he comes back to Stut Joe's car.
All right, sir. Here's that back.
All right, pause. This is hilarious. Now he's on the phone, which again, I got to tell you, cops fucking hate when people get on the phone during a traffic stop. First of all, no reason to get on the phone. The cop will see this as being disrespectful. And I don't care if you're out there saying like, well, fuck the cop. Yeah, you could say that. Fuck the cop. I'm getting on the phone. Doesn't make it any different. That cop is going to see that as disrespectful. Your attention should be on this traffic stop. It should be important to you. What's going on? The cop is coming back to the window now after determining what he's going to do with you. That should be of paramount import to you. And John's on the phone. And of course, here's what John did. John looked up a cop. John looked up a cop that lives in that area. He probably met some cop at a bar when he told him he was Stuttering John. And the cop was like, hey, here's my number. You ever need a cop, here, thanks. And then John thinks, by the way, after the cop's already been to the car and comes back, there's nothing you're doing. There's nothing you could do. And have some fucking